Well, this isn't really breaking news, but Superman and Lois Lane have been cast in James Gunn's 10-year plan for the next wave of DC films, even though The Flash utterly bombed. So who's your new Superman? Well, turns out it's frontrunner David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan. Not Brosnan. I thought it was Brosnan, but it's not. Who's a very famous actress from some show that I've never seen. So I'm not even going to pretend to know what that show is. But initial reactions, I would say they look like their comic book counterparts. So I don't really see a problem with that. And it also seems like social media is really happy about the casting, which is weird because it feels like Hollywood just likes to cast people that are going to cause controversy. So the fact that the Superman casting is actually, reminiscent to how their characters appear in comics, I'm not used to that anymore. That was the norm for 20, 30 years, so if it goes back that way, great. But I'm used to, people making more noise about it. Everybody seems to be silent on it. The Henry Cavill fans are, of course, up in an upheaval, which is totally understandable. A lot of people are saying things like, well, Henry Cavill's like this big guy, and this David dude is really scrawny. Well, what people forget is that when Henry Cavill actually tried out for Superman, he was a pretty thin, lanky guy like Christopher Reeves the first time. Then, of course, Henry bulked up tremendously for the role and really got into it and put on a lot of weight and muscle before they started filming. Maybe David could do the same thing. I don't know. That's up to what they want to do for Superman. This will be your Superman for the next 10 years, and if David is very smart, I hope he got a 10-year contract locked in, not a verbal agreement, because, well, that's what happened to the last Superman, is the last Superman had a handshake and verbal agreement with Warner Brothers, and then James Gunn just easily got rid of him because there was no contract. So make sure, new Supes, that you've got a ironclad contract, or, you could go the way of Henry Cavill too. I also think that this is the same David that was originally the frontrunner for the J.J. Abrams, his Superman movie. So the fact that James Gunn was able to swoop in and get this guy as his big pick, I guess that's something. I'm going to hold off any type of judgment because I really have never seen anything with this David guy in it. He looks like a young person that kind of looks like Henry Cavill a little bit. And by the time he finishes the Superman role, he'll probably be late 30s, early 40s, maybe. So, I mean, James Gunn definitely wants to go with a younger Superman with the whole, Grant Morrison storyline. Now, the Lois actress, never seen her or anything, but, apparently everyone is very, very pleased with the casting. People over on the Let's Play channel were talking about it earlier today when the casting happened. And, everybody seems fine with it. They're going with a Lois Lane that is very young in her career, fledgling reporter. She and Clark are going to get into a lot of mischief, which is great. And Superman is going to be inexperienced, but also the Superman that we're more accustomed to from the comics, which is a character that is very hopeful and optimistic and sees himself as not necessarily like, I'm going to hide myself away from the humans, and more like I'm going to be a beacon of hope and goodness for people to aspire to be like, and I'm here to help the world. And we're going to see that type of Superman in Superman Legacy. We're also going to see probably a romance between Lois and Clark start, but it probably won't come to full circle like during the first movie. This is, again, going to be our new DC Cinematic Superman for quite a while. And, I have a wait-and-see attitude. I'm not going to judge either the actors or the actress playing Lois because, personally, I've never seen their work in anything. I'm just going by what people have said on social media over the past, few hours after the announcement. Hey, people, little editor's note. I'm about 2 days late now, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. And check out our new series of... I don't know what I'm even doing anymore. What day is it? I think it's Thursday now. Or Wednesday. Who cares? Anyway, back to the video. So in other Superman news, we actually have the Superman cartoon show starting off pretty soon, which is kind of like anime Superman. And that's going to be hitting in July on Toonami. I may watch it. I don't know. It's also going to be on HBO Max or the Max service day after it airs, which is pretty cool. And that also is going to have a young Superman, but it's going to be more comedic. I don't think it's like a romance thing or anything like that. The thing that makes this the most interesting about the new Superman casting is most likely this Superman we're going to hear in animated form, in video games, and other projects, because remember what James Gunn said. He said that his Superman and Batman would be used a lot more in other projects outside of live action. So David, you know, as long as he's got that contract locked in, we're going to be hearing a lot more of him, and hopefully he has a good Superman voice. Now, apparently, from what I've heard, the auditions for Superman Legacy, David killed it. Like, he easily put a lot of distance between him and the other two guys who were vying for the role. And he was able to not only impress the Warner people, but also James Gunn. And James Gunn just made it official. In fact, on his Twitter, he even said, "This is Superman, and this is Lois." As for Lois Lane, she was the front runner for the role. And Rachel just, you know, owned it. People said she had a lot of chemistry with Superman, and also she just really made the Lois role interesting. Now, we have to wait until 2025 for our first introduction to the new Superman and Lois. So it's going to be, you know, 2 years from now to see, like, how James Gunn's vision works. And the fact that the writer's strike is going on constantly still, we don't really know what's going to happen with the Superman movie, if it's actually going to take flight by that time or not, because writer's strikes tend to take quite a while. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. But, yeah, I don't really know anything else. There's a lot of interesting stuff with Superman that's going to be happening. You've got the Young Superman cartoon show, and you've got the Young Superman movie, which is going to be based on the Grant Morrison run. And Grant Morrison is a fantastic writer, but I still prefer Dan for Superman stories. But that's just me. But now I want to hear from you guys and gals. How do you feel about Rachel being cast as Lois and David as Superman? Are you excited? Do you care? Or are you not care? Are you still upset that Henry and Amy were given the boot in favor of these much younger actors? Let me know in the comments section below. Just to, you know, beat a dead horse because I like to. I don't have a problem with this casting right now. I thought Hollywood was going to do something completely different because that's the norm. Usually they cast controversial actors to play the role, and then websites make money off of click outrage, and Twitter goes back and forth and gets their hate on until the movie comes out, and then either the movie is very good or the movie bombs. It's just Hollywood's throwing everybody a curveball. Maybe, you know, Jensen Ackles will actually be Batman now. I don't know. I mean, he's around the same age as this David guy, maybe a little bit older, but not too much. So who knows? But probably won't have any Batman casting for another year, so it's completely speculation and up in the air from there. Anyway, on to business. So my Flash review, I haven't had a chance to edit it, and with the Superman news coming out, I had to get on the Superman news first, and Lois, so we're taking care of that now. And my Flash video, I still need to edit it, but with all the Final Fantasy 16 streams I've been doing, which has been about almost 5 hours of Final Fantasy a night, I essentially pass out on the couch here, and then Amber has to wake me up, and, you know, I go upstairs. So I'll do the best I can, but I am literally streaming so much on my other channel. And once I'm able to stream on this channel again, I have no idea how this is going to impact uploads, because... So, you know, sometimes I get a little spacey and I don't finish stuff. So apologies for that. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole Superman thing. Hopefully it works out. I wish the new Superman well. And I guess we'll see what happens. So keep it locked here for more news on stuff Batman in movies, video games, TV, and occasionally comics when they don't suck. And I guess sometimes on DCU stuff if it's monumental and worth my time. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you later.